Hi, assalamu alaikum, namaste, Sat Sri Akal. My name is Farheen Khan and you're watching the AZEEZA show. This week we're actually going to talk about women and travel. Last week we had a great discussion on women in leadership and we thought, we'd switch it up a bit. So with me today in studio is Yusra Chaudhry. Yusra is a travel specialist. And also joining us by Skype is Somaya Tafel. She's actually in Vancouver. Later on in the show, we'll have Khawla Taha, who's also a community advocate, and the three of us are going to have a discussion about travel. So Yusra, why don't we start with you? So how did you get involved in this field?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here, Farheen. Glad to be here. A couple years back, I was planning my own trip to Turkey, going for Umrah, and a couple of other countries. So, it took me a couple of months to plan the whole trip. And by the end of it, I enjoyed it so much, putting the whole experience and package together, that I'm like, you know what? This is something I see myself doing and helping others plan a trip.
Right.
And here I am today.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
so how was that trip?
It was amazing.
Was that your first trip like alone by yourself?
It was.
Okay.
It was, yes.
Yeah. And what was it like to get out there?
Well, you had the independence to do whatever you want. So you didn't have to wait for someone, okay, well, I can't go here, or I'm tired, or, I don't want to do this. This way you just get up and go. You have your own plans, your own things to do. At the end of the day, it was, you build confidence. You meet other women across, board that are in the same, having the same solo experience traveling.
Mm-hmm. And what was like, you've been to some, I know I'm always hearing you going from here to there.
Yeah.
So like, what are some of the best trips that you've taken?
So 2 years back, we took a group to Cuba.
Okay.
So it was not ladies only. It was a mixed group.
Right.
But it was good. We had to organize it from day one, from booking, and when you're in the country as well,
Right.
your land travel as well. It takes a lot of work, hard work, time, commitment to put a group together.
For sure.
And to make sure at the end of the day that group is happy.
Right.
So it was good.
Good. And I want to kind of ask you, so a lot of times we'll hear we've had discussions with people we know about how they're hesitant as women to start traveling by themselves, right? Sometimes it's a safety issue. Sometimes, there's this want to get away and just get out of your day-to-day life. But how do you strike a balance with that? How do you reassure people that it's okay to travel alone?
Well, I think you have to do your research first.
Okay.
Research comes first. Where is that you want to travel,
right.
How safe that country is to travel to. And when you get there, your day one, how is it going to be? Right. Are you arriving in the morning? Are you arriving at midnight? Are you arriving in the middle of the afternoon? Ideally, if you're traveling alone as a woman,
right.
It's better to arrive midday or early in the morning,
sure.
So you know your surroundings, so you know the taxi you're taking to your hotel. Your day one should be very well organized. You should know exactly what's happening,
right.
Which is very important. And after that, then you just, you familiarize yourself.
Right.
And then it's just day by day.
And as a travel specialist, you would help with that, right?
Of course,
yeah.
Of course.
So what kind of packages are you working on right now?
Right now we're working on two packages. One package is Umrah package for ladies only, but ladies have to be 45 and above, otherwise they have to take a mahram
right.
with them, right? The other package is we're doing a women's retreat
right.
to Cuba.
Yep. Excited about that.
The plan's underway. Hopefully for the Easter weekend in April,
right.
The long weekend. So it'll be 4 nights, 5 days package. We're working on that at the moment,
right.
At a very reasonable cost.
Right, excellent. And what do you think is I remember when I traveled to Iceland, I was in love with Iceland.
Right.
I went as part of a women's group,
right.
And just going there, I was
and how was your experience?
It was amazing. Yeah. I just, I would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
it was just the waterfalls, the volcanoes, the mountains,
right.
all these things were just incredible.
Right. It's just your me time, right?
Yeah, absolutely, right? It was just really time to reflect, and I know it had been a really difficult year that year,
right.
So being able to just get away and just spend 2 weeks literally on the land, just
right.
road tripping across Iceland was just amazing, right? So what do you think are some? I know you've talked already a little bit about the benefits, but how it's transformational, isn't it?
It
how
is.
do you describe that to other people?
So you're traveling alone in an unknown country. Well, you've done little research, but then you get to meet new people. You make new friends. You experience new cuisine, new culture, and not to mention diversity. Right. And then you come back with that knowledge and that experience, and you talk about it.
Right.
And then you hopefully can motivate others to experience that same thing. You know, I think it's great. And then down the road, you can tell stories about, you know, where you've traveled, what you've learned, who you've met, and the experience you've gained.
For sure.
Right. So.
For sure. I remember going to, you know, I remember when the first time I went to, when I got off the plane from Iceland, I had never seen mountains, right? Because we're in the GTA in Toronto, like there's no mountains around, right? And I got into the bus. It was like this little coach type bus that was rented, right? One of those like, I think 18 seaters or whatever. Anyway, so we're sitting in this, and you know, I just look outside, and as we're traveling from the airport, it's like this gas station, and behind the gas station there's this huge mountain, and I was like, oh my God, this is the first mountain I've seen. Right? So then the driver, I think his like jaw dropped, because he's like, wow, she's never seen a mountain. And it was great. It's like, I'll never forget that, you know. And then over time, and we were sitting by the ocean, we're sitting at the base of a mountain, right? There's all kinds of amazing things that I was so happy to share when I came back.
And those are memories you've come back with. You know, and hopefully you can go back again and you know, gain that same experience back.
For sure. After that, I wasn't able, like nobody could find me, because I was always climbing the little hills and mountains and stuff. And they're like, where's Farheen? Oh, there she is. That was where I think like I got inspired to start hiking and stuff, right? With the AZEEZA stuff, I came back, I was like, oh my God, you know, start, you know.
It just motivates you. It just puts new perspective in place.
Absolutely.
Where, you know, where we're blessed to be living in Canada.
For sure.
A great country to live in. And then when you travel outside of Canada and you see other way of life, you know, it gives you perspective on life. It gives you an open eye as to what's happening.
Absolutely, right? I mean, I remember going to India, and just like, no matter where, because my family's from India originally, and it had been the first time I'd gone back, and it was for like, you know, a relative's reception. And I remember going there and thinking like, wow, like these people are living in such, you know, their standard of living is so different from ours. But the one thing that really struck me was that there was such gratitude no matter what. Everybody was happy. You know, whether they were living in a very small place or whether they were living in, you know, a large home and were very well off, there was like this gratitude that just when I came back, I was like, wow, like I'm so inspired by that.
And then you can come back with that experience. Right.
So what's your favorite place to travel to?
So far, Turkey.
Really?
Turkey's the highlight of my travel experience.
Wonderful.
Beautiful country, beautiful people, amazing food. And it's just the experience. This history. There's just so much history there. So much. And then the locals are so humble and so helpful. Amazing. Amazing.
And what would you recommend to people?
To where to go at the moment? Turkey. Turkey.
Okay, cool.
Turkey's great. Top destinations at the moment are, you know, is Paris, France, for example. US, I mean, people travel to US, USA.
Where in the U.S. do they travel?
So the Grand Canyon. You know, of course, you have California. You know, San Francisco. You have San Diego. Beautiful, beautiful places. Because it's just all coastal drive, right? And then you have Japan. A lot of people love going to Spain. Spain.
That's on my bucket list too.
And then there's so many special packages with China right now happening.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
And what about, like, what do you, I mean, is that something that people are doing a lot? China?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tourism is really up in China at the moment.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's great. So if somebody was hesitant about like traveling, what would they?
I think, again, it comes back to knowing where you're going, doing your research, you know, understanding the country that you're traveling to, knowing their ins and outs, their basics, you know, and then you know, hearing the news, what's happening. Is it safe to travel to the country? I think that would be the first and most important thing. If it is safe, then you travel, right?
Absolutely.
And then the cities that you'll be traveling to and how you'll be traveling to.
Right. I know there's a group of friends that were on the show before as well, who ended up going to Kilimanjaro.
Oh.
And they traveled together, and that was like, such a remarkable experience for them. So sometimes it's also like a bonding thing, right?
It is, and you come back with that experience, and that friendship lasts for so long.
Right.
Like when I went for my Umrah trip, a bunch of girls, it was 10 years back. I'm not old, but 10 years back. 10 years back, we were on a special group to Saudi. And that friendship till today remains as strong. I think it's just the bond that we've developed with each other.
I mean, you were at such a, a special place too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. So we're going to take a quick break.
Sure.
And then we'll be back.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the AZEEZA show. We were just talking about women and travel. So Yusra, we were having a great discussion, and now Khawla Taha has also joined us, and we've got Sumaya Tufail on the Skype from Vancouver. So Khawla, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back, I should say.
Back.
I know, welcome back. I know, just to start, like you recently had, I remember we were doing this, I got a message from you the other day, and I started hearing like waves in the background. I was like, where is she actually at this point? And then I remembered you told me that you'd been to the Dominican, or you were going to the Dominican.
Yeah.
You just got back, like what, a couple of days ago?
Friday.
Yeah. So how was that for you? Like, what made you decide to go?
Actually, it's come by sudden. Like I have two of my friends. Usually they travel a lot, and every time they encourage me, Khawla, come with us.
Right.
And I got a call from them. They said, we booked for Dominican Republic. You want to join us? That day I was so stressed from many things around it. And I said, yes, I will go. Then they start, what's your name, your address, your email. And after that, I was driving. Then they said, okay, give us your bank information, your Visa card. I said, oh, this is real. Then I stopped my car, I opened my bag, and I give them all the information. Then right away, I got the email for my booking. It was 7 days from Friday to Friday to Dominican Republic, Puerto Plata. It was first time again for me. I travel for a pleasure, not for like a business or family or with the family, because usually I go with my family, with my kids. It's first time,
Just for you.
For myself.
Yes.
And I said, oh, it will be okay, because every time I said, okay, I'll see maybe someone, we will go as a group, because I like to be with a group. But it's happened. I'm so glad. Actually, I'm so happy I did it. And now I encourage all the women.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
That's what we're here for.
Really, I encourage them. I said, you have to do it.
Right.
Because really, like many things, it was in my mind, from the daily routine, from all the stress we have it from everything, like now with the rush hour and the driving, it's many stressful in our life,
for sure.
But during my trip, like I feel more relaxed, more quiet, like there is a time for myself to think in a different way, to change even many.
It's quiet, right? Like
it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Food ready in the time. You will go, if you want to swim, you can swim.
Yeah.
You can enjoy even to look just for the ocean or
the ocean.
Like there is many things you can do
yes.
it, and you will do it for yourself this time. This is the first time I do something for myself.
And do you find that there's a difference? I don't know if you've both seen both, but like, do you find that there's a difference between the way it feels when you're in front of the Atlantic versus the Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just different. I don't know how to explain it. They're just both so beautiful.
Yeah,
the
first thing, I noticed the color.
Right.
It's more
very clear.
Light blue.
Yeah, it's a blue.
Right.
And sometimes, it was amazing, really, just to look for the color.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
And the white sand.
Oh,
the white sands, the sun. It was very warm, 30, 28, 30.
Right.
And here, we are now 3.
Yeah.
This is like
That's right.
the difference between
That's
the temperature again.
For sure. Well, I want to just take a quick moment and ask Sumaya as well. So Sumaya, you actually recently came from a really great trip as well. I know you had different reasons to go travel, and love to hear from you.
Yeah, so I recently returned from a trip, and it was a very long journey. I was away for 1 year. I was in Khartoum, Sudan, studying Arabic Fusha. And the reason why is because I studied Islamic studies back in the US at Medina Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And through that school, one of my teachers actually is from Sudan and connected me to an institute in Sudan to learn Arabic. And I've always wanted to really understand the Quran and understand my faith, so I can understand my faith better. So that was like a huge dream for me to actually like know the language. So that was like a very intense journey because I didn't have a lot of the luxuries I have here in Canada, right? Sometimes in our hostel, so I stayed in a hostel where it was all women. Sometimes the electricity would go out. Sometimes the water would stop. It was like extremely hot. And yeah, so for me, it tested my patience a lot. And it made me really focus on my goal and dream, because sometimes when I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I had to remember that, hey, I'm here for a bigger purpose and for my dream. And also, I went to Mombasa, Kenya afterwards to go back to my roots, and that's actually where my parents are from. So, and I never been back. Like, none of my brothers and sisters have been back home. So I wanted to see what it's like. I wanted to really understand myself more through that journey of going and seeing where my parents grew up. So that was very, very life-changing, just meeting relatives, meeting people that are telling me they're related to me and I've never met them before. That was pretty cool. And after that, I went to Cape Town, South Africa, where my sheikh actually has like a zawiya there. It's the Medina Institute school. So there's a community there I wanted to connect with, and I went to the masajid there. I went to all the touristy places. So I was more of a tourist there, and I've also met people that followed me on my Instagram, and I met up with them. That was like really cool. So yeah, that's where my whole journey was this past year.
Okay, great. So, one of the things that we were just talking about before the break was Yusra was saying that there's lots of reasons why women go to travel, right? And specifically, particularly when they're going by themselves. So, Yusra, there was a survey you were talking about?
Right, so there was a survey done. It's a females for females on solo group travel, and basically 46% of the women said the reason why they travel was for freedom,
right,
independence, and the chance to do what they want to do and when they want to do it.
Right.
22% said they weren't willing to wait around for others.
Right.
And 15% said to challenge themselves and gain confidence.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. I mean,
for sure.
because you're alone,
right,
you need to take charge.
Yeah.
You build your confidence,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then you do things.
And you lead yourself, right?
Exactly.
You make your own schedule.
Exactly.
You decide where you go. You
Yep.
travel on your own. You do whatever you
Right.
want. Sometimes
Yeah.
women go together, right? A
Yeah.
couple of people will go together. Like I know there was a couple of girls on the show, a few before that went to climb a mountain, Kilimanjaro together, right? And they bonded on that, and they're friends, I think, for life now,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of reasons why.
Of course,
For sure.
of course.
And Ola, you said that you had some things in your mind, right? Like in terms of hesitancy before, were you ever, afraid that you were going alone or anything like that?
Yeah, because not afraid, because
Right.
I'm thinking always about my children,
Oh, yeah,
something
that's true,
happened.
actually. Mm-hmm.
But I find even a way to be in, all the time with them, do this one, do that one, but in a limit. I find, because again,
Right.
during this trip, I taste, to be the sense to be away from the technology.
Yes.
Because they give us 1 hour for the internet.
Do they?
And just 1 hour daily.
Right.
But I find it's okay, because we
Yeah.
now spend many hours
It's
with
just-
the net.
Yes,
But I
yes.
find 1 hour it will be enough.
Right.
and away from all the technology, from the mobile, from the internet,
Yeah.
and enjoy the time.
Isn't that amazing, eh?
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
you actually feel like a detox of that sort as well.
It's
Yes.
just me,
When you're
myself,
away.
and I, right? So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I remember doing a lot of like journaling and stuff when I was traveling, right, in Iceland and stuff.
Yeah.
Just journaling, thinking, right, like jotting stuff down. A lot of
Yeah.
like planning of like, okay, what can I do when I get back? What do I want to do with my life? Like all these questions started coming up.
Yes.
What have I done? Right? Like what am I
What have
planning
I
to do?
done? If I
Yeah.
have any
Yeah.
idea to do it. Now I
Yeah.
postponing many things because I supposed to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I sit with myself, I said, no, it's not a time now to do some courses. Maybe I can take another course in my time,
Yeah.
Like I rearrange
Yeah, you get
myself.
Yes, you got a chance to think about
I
it. For
came
sure.
back with many power, like
Good.
I'm so active, I'm happy. Even
More positivity.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're-
positivity.
It's like you're refreshed, right?
Right.
anything,
Yeah.
like when my kids, I said, please keep me quiet. I'm so happy now.
Let it last for a while.
Yes,
that's right.
yeah,
Just
just
let it
relax. Really, you
Yes,
can
it
come
does.
with a
Yeah, for
positive
sure.
and more energy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask Sumaya as well. So Sumaya, like, with you as well, like, were you hesitant? Were you afraid? Were there, any concerns that you had? And also, like, what was your experience like? And what kind of advice would you give to women who are concerned about those things?
What I would say to women who are apprehensive about traveling alone is that your apprehensiveness is completely natural and normal. Actually, I was scared to go to Sudan, out of all places in the world, and I've never been overseas before, so I was like scared of being away from family. If something happened to me, what I would do. There's like so many fears. A lot of them were like health fears of getting some type of disease and like not knowing what to do because I don't have family around me. So that was like my fear. So I would say that just do your research. So before I went to Sudan, I had a friend that was there already. But when I went there, she left. But she was able to prepare me for everything. I asked her like all the questions that I needed to know. I asked her everything. And also my teacher who lived there, I got the full scoop about life there. And I made sure I knew someone there. So for me, I personally wouldn't go travel somewhere where I don't have a connection. I know some people are like totally brave enough to do that. But for me, I think it's smarter to know at least have some type of connection there. Local that can like take you around and support you, because a lot of times if you're foreign in a lot of countries, people take advantage of you. Even simple things like the taxi driver will charge you more money and take advantage of you that way. So go for it. Like if you want to travel alone, go with a group, find a connection there, but don't let fear hold you back from having a life-changing experience. Honestly, like it was so life-changing. I would never ever undo doing that whole journey, even though it was so long. Like there's so many challenges. It was so fun, and I really grew as a person and learned about myself and the world even more.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
what do you think? So Kaola, now you've been to Dominican. Would you go back there?
Maybe I'll go to another place,
Right,
because
right.
it's many things around it. We
Sure.
can now, but I have a plan. Maybe December or March.
Right.
I will see, because really we deserve, to
Yeah,
also to look
for sure.
out. Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely. And I know,
Yeah.
Yusra, we're talking about doing this Cuba trip,
Yes,
which
we're
I'm super
planning for
excited
ladies
about.
only.
Right?
Yeah.
Women's
in
retreat, Cuba trip, yes.
We'll
For next year.
Yeah,
Good.
for sure.
Next
like
year.
probably like Easter weekend.
Easter
right?
weekend, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's exciting. So
So
we're
for-
going to
you
have
can-
more information on that on our
You will,
AZEEZA
yep.
website, azeezaforwomen.org.
Yep,
So, once that's like settled, we'll start to plan it out
for sure.
and
Sure.
share it with
Yeah.
everybody. So any advice that you would give to anybody who, is interested in or is thinking about traveling on their own?
Do your
Particularly
research.
women?
Yeah, do your research, plan ahead,
Right.
seek guidance or seek follow up with a travel agent,
Right.
just to get some information
Yeah,
before booking anything, just to make sure,
sure.
as the agents are very well versed in what's happening,
Right.
with sales that are coming, or which country you shouldn't be traveling, or you
Right.
can travel, or the
Right.
country's safe to travel.
Right.
Definitely they should contact an agent and
Even
get more
stuff like
information.
visas and stuff, right?
Right,
Being aware
right.
of like what you need a visa for,
Course.
what we don't need a visa
Yep.
for, where can you go,
Hmm.
right? And also I like the point that you made earlier about the whole safety piece, right?
Which
Like,
is important.
you know, in like terms of even when you land
Yes.
and where you land and you know who's there and what like
Your
you know,
surrounding.
your
Yeah.
surroundings.
Which is very important.
I remember landing in India and I landed in Bangalore and the thing was their airport is something that like literally you exit the airport doors and then the main street starts.
Wow.
And I just like came out and I was like, oh my God, I don't know where
Where do I go?
And it was like, I think it was like midnight or something. And I was
Wow.
like, this is like bad. And the
Yeah.
people like you know, they were running late. So I was completely disoriented because I had no idea where I was supposed to be and like who I was waiting for. So
Yeah,
that was
because
just
you're
bad.
coming
Yeah,
off of a 10 to 12 hour flight
Exactly.
and you're already tired.
Yeah.
You just wanna go and rest.
For sure.
And if you're landing middle of the night, you're not, you know, awake enough to be able to see your surrounding,
For sure.
where you're going,
Right.
right? So it's better to, you know, plan out your flights
Yeah.
according to the time of the day, you're landing during
Yeah.
the day, that, you know, you're able to make more conscious decisions.
Absolutely. And I think even just like the whole, you know, like stopovers and all that type of stuff,
Exactly.
right? Like I think travel agents can help you with that too in terms
Yes.
of planning out, like
Yep.
when are you start like switching flights and all that type of stuff too, right?
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Kola? What kind of advice would you give?
The advice again to take the decision. You know, don't wait because I'm. You know, to give them the approval.
Yeah.
You know, for my friends since 2 years.
Right.
You know, go ahead, do it.
Just do it.
Really, I learn a lot of things. Even I taste new food and the fruit.
Right.
Ever, never I tasted like.
Yeah.
And the people. in
The people,
country.
they are like the culture. They are very nice. They are very, even like some people, they told us this place you cannot go. I saw how we are lucky with our street again.
Right.
The highway is like small way, and all the people they use the motorcycle
Right.
for transportation mostly.
Right. As opposed to cars.
Yeah. Even we went, there is one mountain, it's 2,800 meter.
Wow.
Yeah, we take
You
that.
climbed?
Yeah, it was like, when I was down, I said, how we will go all this way? Because I look,
I would
And
have
it's
done
like-
it. I would have gone up.
yeah.
Kola knows.
I would go look up, turn around. Okay, let's go back.
And when we reached the top,
Yeah.
I said, there is a place for hiking. I said, yo, there is a hiking.
Amazing.
Yeah. I walk like around
Yeah.
2 kilo, and there is a cave. Like, you know, every time when you go somewhere, you will
Yes.
find something.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I
Well-
encourage everyone to go anywhere
Yes.
to enjoy.
Amazing.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to ask Sumaya the same question. Sumaya, what advice would you give to women that are looking to travel and who are interested in pursuing their dreams?
So the advice I give to a woman who wants to pursue their dreams is go for it. And also just remember that sometimes your dream can be like so big and you can get overwhelmed easily by it and you won't know where to start. So just take things one step at a time, and you have to be very patient with yourself and compassionate with yourself, and you have to understand that you might need to fail in order for yourself to be prepared for your dream. Maybe your dream is so big that you're emotionally, mentally not there yet, and you have to do some things or go through some things in order to be able to be at that level of your dream.
Yeah, this is great. I think this was such an amazing conversation, and
It was,
we could
yes.
go on, right? Because
Of
there's
course,
just
of
such
course.
wonderful things that happen when you travel. So, you know, to our viewers, if you're interested or if you're thinking about it, just do it. Go have fun, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.